Welcome back, investors. TPG Investing here, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about a company called Ascent Solar. This is a company that I've previously covered, and if you follow my channel you've probably seen the previous video. If you don't already know about Ascent Solar and you want to know more about the company in general, then I suggest that you also watch my other video. In that we deep dived into a lot of what they do and what's been going on at Ascent Solar for the last few years, such as changes in management and basically everything that I felt was important information to highlight to everyone considering investing. Now, there hasn't been much news since then, until the past week or so, and the share price has dropped a bit at the moment too, so the time's right for an update video. So in today's video we will be looking at and discussing the latest financials that dropped on Friday, the latest relevant press releases, progress that the company is making, and what I'm expecting to see next from Ascent. Before we get into the video, if you like the content, I would greatly appreciate if you smash that like button. The last Ascent Solar video got over 270 likes, which is phenomenal. It really shows me that you want to see more videos on Ascent. So here we go. Can we get another 200 plus likes on this video? Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos that could potentially make you money. And leave a comment down below at the end. I'm interested to hear what you think of the company. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor, I do not hold a position in the company, and this is not financial advice. Now let's get into it. So who are Ascent Solar? I'm going to do just a 1-minute overview for anyone that's new. If you want a detailed view of the company, I strongly recommend checking out my previous video. Should be in the top right corner about now. Ascent Solar was formed in 2005 to commercialize their leading edge SIGS technology on flexible plastic substrate. Their technology is recognized as the future of the solar industry. Ascent has cemented itself as a leader in the manufacturing of innovative, high-performance, flexible, thin-film solar panels for both existing and emerging defense, consumer electronic, space, and aerospace applications. Ascent is the only manufacturer commercially producing SIGS solar on a plastic substrate with monolithic integration, a key differentiator that they say puts them ahead of other manufacturers. SIGS technology seamlessly integrates into the wings of unmanned aerial vehicles, on the sides of satellites, or carried in the packs of deployed soldiers so they can easily power their electronics on the go. From standard bare modules to the extreme SIGS technology, they offer customers custom solutions to meet any requirements. Their solar technology will not crack or shatter upon impact and continues to operate in cloudy or overcast conditions. Even if the panels get damaged, their technology allows for the flow of electricity around the damaged area. As well as their standard SIGS technology, they also offer a super light and extreme variant that has the high performance solar efficiency that they say no other thin film provider can match. Their mission is to design, develop, manufacture the ultimate solar technology and power solutions for remote locations and extreme environments, with the vision of delivering clear and innovative power solutions for everyone, everywhere. So let's get straight into the latest financials. On Friday evening, Ascent Solar filed another 10Q. I spoke in the last video about the new CFO trying to get all the financial reports up to date. This is now 3 quarterly reports in just 5 weeks, so fair play to him. He is working hard to get this done. So when we look here at total assets, we'll see a figure of 8.5 million. This is an increase of nearly 3 million on the previous 10Q's figure of 5.8 million. And this is made up of a cash figure of over $1 million. PPE is now 26.5 million. It was 32.3 in the previous quarter. There is now an operating lease of 5.8 million. We will look at the notes on the accounts in a moment to explain all these figures. But first, when we look at the liabilities, you'll see a figure of 23.9, which is significantly down on 2019's figure of 30.1, and slightly down on June 2020's 26 million. This is made up of reduced accounts payable, reduced interest, reduced notes payable. In June 2020, there was 6.5 million current portion of long-term debt. That is now gone. Then we see again this operating lease appears in the liabilities, 500,000 current and 5.3 long-term. Overall, when we compare this to the previous quarter, current liabilities is actually down hugely from 25.8 million to 18.6 million. And there's a very good reason for this operating lease. The notes will explain all this. Looking at the income statement, I won't discuss revenue or expenses here because it's very little and very similar to the last few quarters, which I discussed previously. However, we do have a net profit here of 2.5 million for the quarter, and this comes from changes from 1 million in changes to derivatives mentioned in the last video and other income amounting to $3 million. Now this other income of 3 million ties in closely to that operating lease we mentioned a few moments ago. So now we'll look at the notes to the accounts to explain these. First we'll look at other income. For the 3-month period, the other income was 3.1 million and net income was 2.6 million. This is primarily due to the gain on the sale of a facility and settlement of liabilities, as we can see here. For the 9-month period of other income was 8.8 million with a net income of 7.5, primarily due to changes in fair value of derivative liabilities and the gain on the sale of the facility. As I said already, this ties closely with the operating lease, because when they sold their facility, they now need to lease a new facility. So we can see here that the company entered into a lease agreement for approximately 100,000 square feet building for 88 months commencing September 2020. The company recorded an operating lease asset and liability of $5.8 million. If anyone doesn't understand why an operating lease is recorded as both an asset and a liability, or how this type of transaction affects both the balance sheet and income statement, leave a comment down below. I will explain this type of transactions in the next video if you want. So what's next for Ascent Solar? I've seen a lot of rumours recently about Ascent Solar doing a reverse split, and there seems to be a lot of people thinking this is going to happen soon. First, I want to say that I believe 100% that Ascent will perform a reverse split, but it won't be anytime soon, and the reasons are very simple. At the moment, the only reason to do a reverse split would be for the company to uplist onto a recognised exchange. Ascent have so much to do before this even becomes a possibility, so let's look at that now. First things first, Ascent aren't even pink current yet. They still have a stop sign, and that's not going anywhere until they get the financials up to date. This latest set of financials was for September 2020. But they still have to file their 10K up to December, and by the time they get that filed, their 10Q for Q1 2020 will be due. Then after they get their financials up to date and get pink current, I think they could possibly look to move on to maybe the OTC QB or QX. I'm not sure they even meet the criteria, even after a reverse split, to uplist onto the NASDAQ or the NYSE. To uplist to the NASDAQ, they would have to perform a huge reverse split, and I think also they'd have to satisfy one of these 4 standard conditions, which currently, without revenue and a negative cash flow and not a whole lot of assets, I don't think they satisfy. If anyone wants to clarify this for me, leave a comment down below. I'm genuinely not 100% sure about this. Regarding revenue, in the last video we talked about Ascent being selected by NASA to participate in 2 upcoming flight demonstrations, the ASTI project and the Solar Cruiser Solar Sail project. There has been no new news that I'm aware of regarding these demonstrations, but as soon as we hear anything, I'll let you know. In other recent news, Ascent have announced the company could receive significant support funding as part of the Coronavirus Response and Relief Act. The Biden administration is committed to spending $128 million on technologies, including solar cells, and that holds exciting potential for the future. Ascent is collaborating with NREL to produce SIGs that could be used in a wide variety of applications. Ascent Solar has been working closely with Congressman Ed Perlmutter's office to reinforce the benefit that domestic green energy companies such as Ascent are able to provide. Historically, the Department of Energy has funded approximately $300 million annually for R&D works relating to solar energy. We are honoured that the extraordinary effort Ascent and Congressman Perlmutter's office have recently undertaken has been validated through the inclusion of language in the historic legislation. So much of the focus in solar R&D has in the past gone to the SCI technologies, the production of which predominantly occurs offshore and leaving the US confronted with multiple risks. This is according to Joe Kigan, CRO and SVP of Government Relations for Ascent. With the legislative progress, we will be more positioned to work with NASA, the Department of Defense, and Homeland Security, and with many commercial companies that support these agencies to achieve enhanced operational efficiency and resilience to support the critical missions that will lead to the next great era of American technological achievement. This will help support the research, development, and demonstration of cutting-edge solar technologies, as well as support local Colorado business and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado. These technologies will help improve the efficiency, reliability, and affordability of advanced energy systems across the country and help secure a cleaner energy future for our country. To be honest, I think this is pretty big news for Ascent. Usually in my videos I like to look at the technical charts and do some technical analysis, but in order to keep this short and sweet, I won't do that here because, to be honest, there's not a whole lot happening. As we can see here, the stock has been going pretty sideways, and it has been pretty consistent between 3.1 and 3.9 cents for the last few weeks. There is definitely the opportunity to swing trade here, but I prefer to look at things more of a long-term investing than a day trading point of view. As you can see here, from the time of my last video, the share price was around 0.035, and a couple of days later it reached 0.045. So hey, if you can time these properly, there's definitely money to be made here. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop it a like if you did, it really helps the video get out there to more people. If you've watched all the way through, then fair play. I hope I've shared some information with you that you weren't already aware of, and I hope you found value in this video. There's a lot of YouTubers doing these types of videos, but very few actually look into the financials and try to explain them. I hope you appreciate that I'm trying to bring you useful information so that you can make informed decisions regarding stocks. So hit that subscribe button and bell notification to receive actual useful information. What are your price targets for Ascent? Do you think I'm right or wrong with any of my thoughts? Do you think they'll uplist sooner than I think, and to which exchange? Leave a comment down below, I want to hear your opinions. As always guys, this is just my opinion, and if anyone is looking to buy into this company, I encourage you to do your own research. As I said before, I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. Thanks for watching the video, catch you in the next one.